Hey guys, welcome back to TCGU University for another deck profile. Today I'm going to be doing a deck profile on my Weiss Schwarz Alicization deck. This is a Kirito Eugeo combo deck. It plays all four colors, and the basis of the deck was to kind of counter more of the AOT side of the meta. Just have some small outs to there are certain things and making sure they don't gain as much advantage, and we can kind of try to keep up pace. So let's get into the profile and you can see the cards I play. Okay, guys, like I said, this is a 4-color Alice deck. We're only playing small amounts of things, but the main colors for the deck is mostly blue and yellow, but we splash into red and green in certain pieces, mainly for defense against more meta-style decks than Alice's. For consistency purposes, we're playing 4 to the Cave in the North Alice. This is on when it hits the waiting room, you pay 1, and you look at the top 3 cards, you put 1 into your clock, and then you pick up 1 from your waiting room. This really sets up our level 1 combo plays. We don't care. We don't have to pay for cost to get the abilities out, to get the characters on board. So we don't worry about using the stock, because we're just going to, with our combo, pick 1 up and not have to pay for it. So losing the stock does not matter to us. We have 2 Life Chains Alice. This card is the pay 1. Put a Flucklight from your hand into the waiting room, and then you look at the top 4 cards of your deck. You add 1 card to your hand and then ditch the rest. It can be any card, so climax, event, whatever you really need at the moment. We mainly use this to either set up late game combos, or if we really need to, set up early game combos. It mainly grabs our climaxes, so we have the climaxes for our combos, or more pieces for our combo, so that way we don't have an empty board. We have 2 of the Brainstormer Kirito, Eugeo's partner Kirito. We use the experience because we always want to have something in our level, so that way we get our Eugeo combo off later. So we will almost always have the plus 500 assist late game, and then we get the normal Brainstorm, pay 1, mill 4, search your deck for each climax revealed. So we get the cool advantage from that. For our red now, we have the preparation for the load test administrator. This is the one where you pay 1 and it's the drop salvage. You just pay 1, drop 1 card from your hand, salvage 1 card from your discard pile. This allows us to, when we mill cards through our other effects and whatnot, we're able to pick up things from our waiting room, as well as ditch cards if we have anything we don't need in our hand to then do that ability. It also mills to sometimes be able to side attack without negging soul, so that's really good as well. Then one of my favorite cards in this set, we have With Pride Cardinal. This card is my counter to, this is one of my counters in my deck to the AOT set. This just says when one of my other characters is frontal attacked, I can bounce it to my hand by putting this in my clock. So basically it's a burn 1, add a character back to hand, and then they won't get their Aaron off. And then with other effects that also on reverse do stuff, they won't get those as well if it's not specifically Aaron. But we don't worry about the power boost as much. We mainly want it to be a soft counter to other sets. Then we have our climax combo, which is the Eugeo from the TD. Fate Beginning to Change Eugeo, and then the Adventure of the Past Climax. The Adventure of the Past Climax says when triggered you draw. It's just a 1k 1 soul. And then the Adventure, the Fate Beginning to Change Eugeo, says on attack we look at the top 4 cards of our deck. We add 1 Flucklight to our hand and ditch the rest. It just basically says that we get to condense our deck, as well as add cards to our hand without losing too much of our field advantage or hand advantage. We are, for our red at level 1, we're playing the Suicider, Brutal Lightning Attack Administrator. It's a 1/0, so we don't have to worry about paying stock. It mills 2 to give a 3,000 boost on a climax. So sometimes it is big enough to get over things, but most of the time we're mostly worried about making sure we kill something on board with the Suicide. We have our 1/0 backup in Cooking with the Sacred Arts Alice. It's just a 1/0 2k backup to a dude in battle. Make sure some of our dudes don't die, like sometimes we don't want our Eugeos to die too soon, and sometimes late game 2000 just kind of kills another dude. We have Charlotte's Assist, Charlotte's Assist is another counter I play for the Aaron AOT matchup. It's a 1/1 that says it's a 1/1 backup that says we make sure one of our characters doesn't die. It gives a character the ability that it cannot become reversed. So Aaron won't get its effect off by reversing our character, and other characters that reverse for those abilities won't get their effects off either, which is super, super good. On to our level 2 game. We don't play much. We mainly focus on level 3 and level 1. We have Sword Skill Administrator. This gets a 6k bonus against early plays and other level 3s as well. This just makes sure that anytime an early play comes in at level 2, we're able to deal with it, as well as late game, this thing could just become a 13, maybe 4, 5, 15-5 beater, which is super good. We have our 2/1 early play killer in Taboo and Justice Eugeo. It's just drop 2 Floodlights to kill anything that was played above its player's current level. Easy thing, kill early plays, kill changes, kill all those dudes. Then we get into our level 3 game, starting with our level 2 as well. Departure from Ruled Village Kirito. It gives an assist to level 3 or higher characters in front of it by 2k, and as a bond, you ditch 1 card from your hand to pick up a Kirito's partner Eugeo, which leads into our combos later. So it just leads into other things like the Eugeo itself. The Eugeo itself is, in my opinion, one of the best cards in the set. It has 4 abilities. If you have 2 or less climaxes in your waiting room, it becomes a level 2, so you get to play it. You get to early play it. During your turn, it gets 500 for every other Floodlight character on your board. So most of the time, it gets like a 2k. So it's an 11k on average. And then auto, when this card is placed on the stage, you can heal 1, which is super, super good as well. And then the climax ability is experience. Put this card into your waiting room. If you have Nice Guy Kirito in your level, you can add a Red Rose Sword from your waiting room to your hand. Red Rose Sword is the combo, the climax combo we need for our Kirito for the late game. But that also comes in handy for what the next card is. So like the Red Rose Sword is the 1k1 soul that salvages the dude on a hit. So that's really good. And then the Kirito itself is also very good. It's a 9/5 beater that just says experience. It gets, if your cards in your level are 6 or higher, it gets 1500, basically becoming a 11k. Then auto, when this card is placed on the stage from your hand, you draw 2 cards and ditch 1 card, and then take a Eugeo from your waiting room and put it underneath this card as a marker. And then the climax combo, when this is on board, when this card attacks, you put 2 cards from your hand into your waiting room to then, on reverse, because you have a red sword, deal 1 to your opponent, and then if you have the Eugeo, deal 3 more to your opponent, which just leads into dealing 3 with this, 3 with this, and then 1 more with this, which is like 7 damage and 1 attack, which is really good. On to the last couple of things we're playing in the deck. We're playing the Sage of the Library Cardinal. This card has 3 abilities on it, but you get to choose only 1 when you play it. So when it's placed on board, you choose 1 of the abilities. You can either choose 1 card in your hand, put it into your waiting room, and then if you do, you get to clock stock. So you basically heal 1 to your stock. And then the other ability, one of the other abilities is draw 2 cards, ditch 1. And then the third ability is give it 4,500, and then your opponent can't, players can't play backups. Nobody can. Nobody can play backups. It just means this is a very big beat stick that you can't really deal with. And then the last 2 cards in the deck are the Glittering Osmanthus Alice. It gives 2k to all cards in front of it, all Floodlights in front of it. And then you can they also gain the ability that your opponent can't play backups, which is also very good. Works out well with our Kirito. Most people are playing the red event card from one of the first early sets that basically does the same thing. It says your opponent can't play events and stuff from hand, and it basically prevents him from dying really early. But the other ability on this card is when it's placed, you can bounce a dude on board. So basically against things like you have Rider and you have Priestess, things like that, you don't have to worry about the Nake Soul because you just add them back to your hand and you don't have to deal with it. Thanks again for checking out the profile, guys. If you liked the video, let me know down below. If you like my deck, let me know down below. If you have any ideas for other things I could add to make the deck better that maybe people aren't playing, let me know as well. If you want to support us, go to patreon.com/TCG University. If you hit us up at the $1 level out there, you get access to most of our content early, most of our content live. You get to join our Discord where you can talk with us in the Weiss Schwarz chat. We play other games. We have other people that play other games like Magic, Final Fantasy, Universes. You can talk to all of them as well. So join us out there, guys. And as always, stay learned.